Kerala, an extraordinary event occurred during a Eucharistic adoration in St. Sebastian Church in July 2024, which has drawn significant attention from both the faithful and the curious. It began when a young girl named Agna and her family were attending adoration. The church, adorned with candles and flowers, was preparing for a special children's Massachusetts. Families filled the pews, and children eagerly awaited their turn to receive communion. What happened that day would become one of the most astonishing events in recent times, a miracle that would leave everyone in awe. On July 21st, 2024, during the children's Mass, a 14-year-old girl approached the altar. She extended her hands to receive the Eucharist, as she had done many times before. But this time, something extraordinary happened. As soon as the host touched her palm, it began to bleed. The girl, stunned and overwhelmed, showed the blood to her catechism teacher, who quickly alerted the priest. The priest, recognizing the gravity of the situation, carefully collected the host and preserved it. The news spread quickly, and soon the Archbishop of the local diocese was informed. He instructed that the host be kept in the tabernacle for further examination, as the church began its inquiry into what would soon be known as the first miracle of Madhavana. 1 week later, on July 28, 2024, the faithful gathered once again at the same church. This time, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. People were still talking about the previous Sunday's miraculous event, and many wondered if something extraordinary might happen again. In response to the first miracle, the congregation was asked to receive the Eucharist on the tongue. The same 14-year-old girl approached the altar. As she received the host on her tongue, something miraculous occurred once more. The Eucharist transformed into flesh, and the girl tasted blood. Shocked yet again, she alerted the priest. The priest took immediate action, retrieving the Eucharist and preserving it. The local archbishop was contacted again, and this time the vicar general personally visited the church to witness and investigate the incident. This second miracle added to the mystery, and the church's investigation deepened. On the following Sunday, August 4, 2024, the church was packed. News of the previous two miracles had spread, and everyone was eager to see what would unfold next. The faithful were filled with hope and curiosity, yet also reverence for what might be happening in their midst. During the Mass, the same girl received the Eucharist once more. As before, the host transformed into flesh, but this time it took the form of a tiny heart. Blood flowed in her mouth, and the taste was unmistakable. This third miraculous event solidified what many believed to be a divine sign. The Archbishop, deeply moved by the repeated miracles, took the transformed hosts into custody for further study and preservation. A formal investigation was launched, and the miraculous hosts were now being scrutinized by experts to determine their nature and authenticity. The Eucharistic miracle in Madhavana has captured the hearts and minds of many believers not only in Kerala but across the world. As the Church carefully investigates the events, the faithful are reminded of the profound mystery of the Eucharist, the belief that Christ is truly present in the bread and wine consecrated during Mass. Such miracles are rare, but when they occur, they serve as powerful reminders of the divine presence in the world and the unfathomable mystery of faith. Whether or not the Church officially declares these events as miracles, they have already touched the lives of many and deepened the devotion of those who witness them. As we reflect on these events, we are called to approach the Eucharist with renewed reverence, recognizing that sometimes miracles happen in the most unexpected places, at the most unexpected times.
Trái mật mục thích có 99.000 mà cũng có kiểm nghiệm mà bảo hành nữa hả? Đó chứ sao không? Không chỉ vậy á, mà với 90.
A similar event had happened in the Good Shepherd Church in Kanjiko, Kerala. The miraculous events surrounding Rani John of Kanjiko, Kerala, have garnered considerable attention from the Catholic community, particularly due to the profound nature of her experiences with the Eucharist and the Virgin Mary. On November 2, 1997, during a Mass at the Good Shepherd Church in Kanjiko, Ronnie John experienced an extraordinary miracle. As she received Holy Communion, the host visibly transformed into living flesh and blood on her tongue. This miraculous event was witnessed by the parish priest, Reverend Father Joseph Pilavalo, and many parishioners. This Eucharistic transformation signified a profound divine intervention, emphasizing the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Ronnie John's life has been marked by several mystical phenomena. She has reported experiencing the stigmata, where she bore the wounds of Christ during intense moments of prayer, particularly during Marian retreats. These stigmata were often witnessed by participants in these retreats, including clergy and religious. Ronnie has also received what she describes as private revelations from the Virgin Mary, leading to a deepening of Marian devotion in the region. Other Eucharistic miracles in Kerala. Edapally, Kochi, St. George's Foreign Church in Edapally has long been a site of reported Eucharistic phenomena. Though not tied to one specific event, numerous believers claim to have experienced divine interventions during Mass and Eucharistic adoration at this popular pilgrimage site. Chalkudi, Thrissur, in Chalkudi, several reports of extraordinary occurrence during the Eucharist have circulated within the Catholic community. These experiences, though informal, include stories of healings and conversions attributed to the power of the Eucharist. Puravilangad, Kottayam, St. Mary's Foreign Church in Puravilangad is a historical Marian shrine where the faithful have often reported a profound sense of divine presence during Eucharistic celebrations. While specific miraculous events may not be widely documented, the Church remains a significant site of devotion to the Eucharist. These miracles and devotions illustrate the deep reverence for the Eucharist in Kerala, continuing to inspire faith among believers. Kerala, located on the southwestern coast of India, is one of the most spiritually vibrant regions in the country, particularly for the Christian community. The roots of Christianity in Kerala date back to the arrival of St. Thomas the Apostle, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus, who is believed to have reached the Malabar coast in 52 AD. This early introduction of Christianity led to the formation of the St. Thomas Christians, also known as the Syrian Christians or Nasranis. Over time, Kerala became home to a large Catholic population, enriched by a blend of Eastern and Western Christian traditions. Today, the Catholic Church in Kerala is organized into several rites, including the Latin Rite, Syro-Malabar Rite, and Syro-Malankara Rite. The faithful in Kerala are known for their deep devotion to the Eucharist, the Virgin Mary, and the sacraments, which are central to their religious life. Catholicism in Kerala is marked by strong community bonds, rich liturgical traditions, and a profound sense of faith that permeates daily life.
Hộp 5 bóng đèn LED 30W chỉ 149k miễn phí ship toàn quốc. LED